Greetings, fellow Demon Slayers. This is Taimanin Mari here today with another Action Taimanin video. So, for today's topic, I want to talk about kind of something I noticed with the releases of supporters specifically. We don't have this issue with weapons, but we'll come over to this screen. This is where we're going to be for the duration of the video. So I was thinking about it the other day, like supporters that are coming, like Adult Yuki and that Demon MILF whose name I don't know. And then I was thinking about, like, supporters we've had. Because I think a lot about this game because I'm a loser and I like being abused. But either way, I noticed something. We don't really get super rare supporters anymore. And then I started wondering, like, if that's a problem or not. I don't know if it's necessarily a problem, but it certainly causes an issue of huge diminishing returns when pulling gacha. Like, at this point, I don't even really pull gacha anymore because I have every super rare here. I think at S level 5, actually. Yeah, I think I have all of them at S level 5 except for her. I've never got this supporter for whatever reason. I don't know, she just doesn't like me. But besides my Ibuki problem, I noticed when the game came out, the last supporter on the list was Yuna, and then all of these supporters came with the game. Everything under Yuna was added later. So we had Harasaki Arika added, and she came in with the Hisui banner, which would be this waifu here. And then after Arika, we had Tsushima Ibuki added, and she came along with Fuyumi. Now, between Hisui, we had Hibiki come out, and then we had Suzune come out. They came out by themselves. They weren't paired with a super rare. But after that, we stopped seeing super rare supporters altogether. Now, if we follow like the pattern, we had Hisui come with a super rare, and then we had two without, and then we had Haragi come with a super rare, and then we had Spica, and then we had Tatsumi, which were alone. So that stands to reason that the next ultra rare we get that is not limited should be paired with a new super rare supporter. And I wonder if that's actually going to happen because in recent months, like since Tatsumi, every ultra rare we've gotten has just become a limited supporter mostly. Like they're all for 500 gems. Like what do we have? We had Renko, and now we have Asuka, and next we're probably getting Sue. Or Dragon Sue, which was leaked, and she's going to be limited with a skin. So I'm wondering, like, why they stopped making super rares. Because with most gacha games, when you release, like, things into the gacha, you typically release an ultra rare as, like, the carrot on the stick. Like, oh, this is going to be what you want to go for. This is the new big girl on the block. Because, let's face it, gacha games usually have waifus. So, like, you're generally going to want them. And then they usually release a super rare as something that's like less valuable, but it's still okay. Because super rares aren't particularly bad, they're just worse than ultra rares in most cases. There are rare cases like Homura where she's just flat out better than most ultra rares. So the reason it's a kind of a problem is because super rares are going to get to a point, which I'm already at that point, where you have them all, because you've just simply been playing the game for an extended period of time. Like even with gacha coins, you're going to eventually have most of the super rares at least at S level 1, and then it's going to get to like an issue where you only need ultra rares, and super rares just become worthless because they're not updating them. And actually, thinking about the pattern, I forgot that Yuno was not limited. I don't think Yuno was a limited gacha, and Yuno also didn't have a super rare, so that breaks the pattern already, going back to what I said earlier, now that I'm looking at the list. So, yeah, that would be 3 ultra rare supporters that didn't have a super rare join them. And it's weird because whenever a new character gacha comes out, she comes out with 2 super rare weapons along with two ultra rare weapons, and even 2 rare weapons get added into the pool. So I don't know why they take this stance for supporters. I think it's just because it's becoming a like it's becoming a thing of where supporters are just getting so infinitely valuable because right now we're getting ultra rare weapon events trickling in. So most everyone is going to at least have one ultra rare for the girl that they're maining, which is a good thing as far as weaponry. But with supporters, the ultra rare supporters we get from events are kind of subpar. Like they started really good with Onigumo, and then they just kind of progressively got worse as the game aged. So I can't really rely on those being like great ultra rares. Every once in a while, I'm sure we'll get one that way. But for now, our great ultra rares are coming from Gacha, and then super rares are just kind of left there stagnating. Like Homer is still good, but a year from now she may not be, depending on the ultra rares that trickle in. Like Mai already has a replacement. People still use Mai, but over the course of a year, more people are probably going to have an S level 5 Suzune to replace their Mai, and Mai will become useless. Renka's already been replaced by Spica. Luckily, they both offer melee crit rate, so they're great if you stack them together. But really, this is replaced by Spica. You don't have to run Renka with Spica. We don't have a ultra rare equivalent of Faust yet, but we may. Point being, like, I just wonder what they're thinking as far as super rares go, because me personally, I don't write out super rares. Like, if we just go to my character screen, we'll go to Nui, because I've been so far per ass lately, it's pathetic. And we'll see, like, I run super rares in my build. I almost always run a Homura. I almost always run a Renka or a Faust. If we go to someone like, say, Emily, she's doing the same thing, pretty much as Shiranui, but for range characters. And then when I play Emily, I just give her the Spica. Very rarely do I have characters like this where I'm actually running like more ultra rares and super rares. And even then, I'm still running my Mai because my Fuyumi isn't that far along in her S levels. And I believe Asagi's in the same boat. If we look, oh, actually, I did a sample video for Asagi, but she would be running Hibiki as the main because Hibiki is probably one of the better ultra rares for her. And then again, she would have Renka here and a Homura here. So, point being, I splash super rares into my builds. Like, I get a lot of use out of them, more so than ultra rares, because some super rares do very specific things. And I would have loved to see more of them getting added into the pool because it's a more common drop that more people can build around. And we definitely need more common drops with the advent of the gacha coin because super rares are suddenly valuable again because we're not getting 2 a week. But like, God, looking at something like Ibuki, like, she's the only super rare I don't have, but her ability slaps, dude. Like, 16% critical damage to ranged attacks. At max S level, that would be 32%. That's a beefy damage increase. Like, if you stack her with something like Halmura, whenever you crit, you're essentially doing 62% more damage if they're both S level 5. That is not bad for being super rare. So I would have loved to see where super rares went as far as, like, the supporter front. Maybe this is, like, unfounded. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just starting to notice, like I said, I was just thinking about it, and we haven't seen a super rare since Ibuki, which was, I want to say, 2.5, almost 3 months ago. So, I don't know, I just wanted to point that out. I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. Do you think we need more super rare supporters, or do you think we should just only have ultra rares trickled in? Because personally, I don't think super rares stagnate the pool. I think they're useful, even with super rare weapons. Like, we have this weapon class. I think Obro may have one. Not that one. Okay, maybe she doesn't. Let's go to a character who has a prototype. Oh, God. Too many things in the pool. I should have just went to the weapon. Okay, here we go. Prototype weapon. Prototype weapon. God, this is embarrassing. Where are they? They should be here. There we go. Okay, so something like this. These are useful. I don't understand, like, why we can't have more supporters like this, because I love this critical rate. addition that they add. Like, that's so good. Especially since crit rate is really unexplained in this game, having something that gives a percentage of crit is okay. Those aren't bad super rares. Things like Leyline, the increased damage to demons, that's again not a bad super rare. And going back to Obro, going up top here, I actually noticed she has this, which is basically like what Leyline would do, but for humans. So if you need to have a human killer, Obro will be it. What is her companion claw? Oh, this is critical damage instead of critical rate. That's interesting. Like, that's what I mean. Ultra rares have like these interesting effects that sometimes aren't half bad. I'm sorry, super rares. So I just hope that they look back into super rare supporters is pretty much what I'm getting into. Because they can be really interesting. They can be good. And sometimes you have like lightning in a bottle like Homura. Like hell, I even consider things like Renka and things like Faust lightning in a bottle because again, critical rate in this game is unexplained. Like there's theories about it and I've heard them, but there's no set in stone advice on how crit works. So having flat percentages is good. So I don't know, man. Like even this is good. Like she's interesting. I don't know. I keep saying I don't know, so I guess I'll end the video here so I don't start to bore you guys. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Like, do we need more super rare supporters just to have that extra spice and something to add to our loadouts? Or should they just continue to push out, like, the ultra rare supporters, which are essentially a carrot on a stick, but in most cases are really powerful? So please leave comments, please like and subscribe as it really helps me out towards becoming a full-time YouTuber. We will pet the Nui because she's super adorable. And with that, I'll end the video here. You guys have a great rest of your day. May you have good luck in your gachas and in the arena. And you dudes go ahead and enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you tomorrow with a new video.